fight they wanted, a fight they had. It stands as an edict in destiny, who should triumph or both equal in strength. From this moment forth, Korea divides. A fateful day in 1950.
The North under leader Kim Yong-song and the South under President Syngman Rhee. Every move was watched by the world and the two big players, the two big superpowers with their special interests. USSR and America both hoping to spread their influence. The metamorphosis of a civil war into a proxy war, the first serious armed conflict of the Cold War, with the two superpowers as the chess players and the two Koreas as their chess pieces. Events unfold before thine eyes and the world will forever be changed. Standing here, a single voice speaks for us. The thoughts, the memories, what we hold through. See the world through thy eyes and understand. After the Pacific War, Korea divided. The Soviets took the North, the Allies the South. We saw it our duty to reunite, and Korea shall become one forever, thriving under the same great red banner. I have left my own family to partake in a war that had to be fought. The red side I had chosen to stand for, taking the lives of innocent men, and lead my country dear to victory.
June 25th, we invaded the South. The upper hand we had at first, as they were caught unawares by our actions. So close we were to reunification, soon with tied loved ones on the other side. Oh, endless worries and constant fears, not for Thai own safety, but for theirs will disappear like the morning mist. With the help from the Chinese soldiers in an effort to achieve peace and happiness for Thai proud country, we resisted the South Korean troops and the Americans the best we could, for the sicker and the ham. Axis of evil surely are not as labelled by those foreign westerns. Unity is what we seek, but alas, misconception is there received. Fingers pointing at our allies and us. For the worthy cause that we fight for, were we wrong to fight for our dreams or cross the prejudice of the West?
Standing here, a single voice speaks for us. The thoughts, the memories, what we hold true. See the world through thy eyes and understand. The South for free spirit, the South for growth. Why should we let that which we hold true be torn apart by the evil red North? The impending dark and stifling presence. The sickle and the hammer will be the bane of us all if we stand here in the shadows. After the US troops withdrew from here, my brothers and I were greatly weakened in military strength and numbers, giving the North the chance they needed to invade one fateful day in 1950. So here we stand, fathers and husbands, sons and brothers, together in defending our beloved home.
Alas, caught unprepared at first, we were cornered like rats. But the arrival of the American and UN forces soon turned the tide against the northern troops. Invigorated, we forced them back to their own land and towards the Yalu River and China. We pressed on. With the Chinese entering the fray, both sides then stood like stone unmoving at the line of the 38th parallel. Oh, such deaths, such casualties. Children living in a land of darkness, wives and lovers awaiting his return. Peace destroyed, happiness shattered. We light for want of rain which I could well beteem them from the tempest of my eyes. What hast thou? Nothing but oppression, but the shatter of peace and happiness.
Standing here, a single voice speaks for us. The thoughts, the memories, what we hold true. See the world through thy eyes and understand. Newly communist under Chairman Mao, we look upon the West with suspicion. Convinced we were, America viewed us as a loaf medicine to democracy. Thus, it was in our interest to intervene and help the North Korea. We feared we would be next to have our sovereignty threatened by the America. The tug of war between the two parties. The focus was our national defense.
Help we requested from the Russians, and Stalin suggested we join the fray. Letters were exchanged between the two leaders, and finally, Mao dispatched our men to the front line of the fighting in Korea. Watching the news for having me laugh. UN repelled the north, past the border, and to the river, and our border. Our men were caught up to the front line to fight, waiting day and night with the radio by my side, praying for his safety.
What's that?
The deaths increased, casualties increased, but my hopes were not dashed. I prayed for the war to cease, but I knew I could only sigh. Devastation, destruction, desolation. It was all that I could hear and see around. A common enemy we both shared. As neighbors and friends, we stood together.
Standing here, a single voice speaks for us. The thoughts, the memories, what we hold true. See the war to thy eyes and understand. To our fellow comrades in the north, we gave our full and unwavering support. The sickle and the hammer had once more took a foot in Asia, much to our delight. We left behind our Red Army troops to train and equip them with our artillery. A strong North Korea would further our goal.
A united Korea with us desired, under the same red banner of communism, a larger sphere of influence to spar with the cursed and vile thing, democracy. Alas, a hindrance to our noble cause. A battle had to be fought in Korea. The South had the backing of the Allies, but we had prepared the North well, and they struck suddenly with ease and might. Oh, spite of two opposing ideologies, each unwilling to concede or surrender. The North had the upper hand till the UN lent a hand and pushed the forces towards the Sino-Korean border. And in the Chinese, an ally found, a common enemy we both share. Failure to capture the South would be a disgrace to the might of communism and a testament to the strength and hold of the champion of democracy. We had to keep our hold on the North alive. Communism was the way to go.
Standing here in a single voice speak for us. The thoughts, the memories, what we hold true. See the war through thy eyes and understand. 54,000 gave their lives. 103,000 others sacrificed. Our parents, our children, and our wives await the news of our safe return. In the land of Korea for democracy. We pressed on, resisting Soviet clutches. The world watching intently with breath held. We could not afford to be seen as weak. Champion for democracy we are, stationing our troops in the south and preventing communism wrath from spreading mouth to mouth, and henceforth preserve the free spirit that we hold true.
All hell would break through. Nothing we could use. If a domino effect was allowed, kept appeal, we pushed them back. Past the fixed partition, preventing the South from falling to the dark red abyss. Then, China lent a hand to them, perchance 300,000 men strong, something we could not withstand, and thus hitting a glitch in our noble plan. Oh! But we were strong and determined. Together we shall hold our ground. The South, a symbol of our power, we could not let it be devoured.
3 years hence, a treaty signed by all, ceasefire to take effect.
Beyond the hostilities to exist between opposites of the parent.
Unification seemed impossible. The North and South each on their own, following separate lines of life.
Oh, how the evil did raise the lands, and raids, landmines, deadly bombs they witnessed. Alas, buildings destroyed, and people killed.
How many actually felt the same? In the end, the only victorious side was death and nothing else. Oh hell.
The long and hard road to recovery, which was drained and much to endure to. Once more, reach peace and stability. A demilitarized zone to exist, no one to tread on this strip of land.
Rows of soldiers zealously guarding the fence which defines the border. Any flash of shadow will be shot inside.
Loved ones across the line to kept apart, no different from before the war.